In this lecture, we talk about how one looks at the same ideas of a low-cost provider and differentiation, but in a targeted or focused marketplace as opposed to broadly, as a broad player. Looking at a niche market and deciding how to address that niche market as opposed to a small specific market, as opposed to just the broad market like a Walmart we typically would think of. Focus strategies allow you to have either focus on a new market or a small niche market with a low-cost strategy, which is to manage your cost structure and offer a low price, or you focus on the same market or a market like that and you differentiate so you can maintain a good quality price. And there's either, you could think about it, you could go either way when you're looking at a specific niche market. It's usually something that is big enough that it can be profitable. In an earlier lecture I talked about the women's lacrosse, for example. Not necessarily a huge market, but it's big enough, universities and high schools and the like, and even some club playing, that is large enough that you can make money by selling into that market. But at the same time, the big players might not want to go into that market. I'm probably understating the size of the market here, but it's an example. Some of the big players might not want to offer specialized equipment for women's lacrosse, and therefore you might have some opportunity to open up a focused market into that, or focused business into that marketplace. Sometimes it's difficult for big competitors to go after many segments, and it's just not big enough for them to focus on when they have many other large markets to deal with. And there are many different segments, and there may be one that's missed or not identified. And maybe it's, instead of going after the adults, maybe it's the kids who are trying to become good at lacrosse so that they could go and play at the high school level and the college level. Maybe that's a smaller market that would be more appropriate for this. Those of you that understand the market would know better than me. But the idea is there's a marketplace that you've identified. It's a good-sized market, and you could go after it either by offering something that is good enough and cheap, and win that marketplace and sell into that marketplace and make a lot of money that way. Or you could get something that is maybe it has some endorsements by star players at the college stars and all of that sort of thing, and specific training things for people that are learning lacrosse, and develop a differentiated strategy. The risk, of course, is that once you establish the market, the big players might say, hey, there's money to be made there, and come after you, right? So that's one of the risks. That's one of the reasons to go after a really specific strategy. That is, you're either going to be low cost, so if the big guys come in, you can still compete and fight them off by being cheaper. Or you're differentiated in such a way you have some stars or some celebrities, or you have some features or technologies that are patented that you lock up, so when the big guys come in, you can still fight there. So be careful. If you're successful, you're going to invite competition from the larger, bigger players. So either of those strategies can work when you're focused on a particular item. It's also success breeds competition, so you have to be ready for the next step as we go forward. In the next lecture, we'll talk about the kind of the one in the middle, the best cost provider strategy, which a lot of times you can think about over time. Differentiated players, when the market becomes competitive in the differentiated players and it becomes a broader market, people might say we need to be low cost, best cost provider. We still differentiate, but we're also cheaper, or also better value, if you will. We'll talk about that strategy in the next video.